Hello ladies! How is everybody doing? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to my Diabetes with a Twist page in the Life Artist Show. I have been thinking a little bit about what I want to do to bring some more inspiration to you guys. Because talking about diabetes, talking about weight loss, talking about nutrition, diets, medications, testing blood sugars, going to the doctor can be pretty depressing sometimes. And as a woman, we struggle with so many different things. And having to add on more responsibilities than what we already have as a woman. You know, maybe you're a mother, maybe you're a spouse, you're a wife, maybe you're a caregiver for an elderly parent. Maybe you have a job and you just play so many different roles and have so many responsibilities that it becomes very stressful, right? And then on top of that, when we add a chronic illness like diabetes, pre-diabetes, obesity, heart disease, or any other condition that you may be struggling with, PCOS, it's gonna be very, very hard for us to stay motivated and encouraged, right? So we need to find a reason to want to get up in the morning and do everything all over again. Do everything that your doctor is asking you to do. Everything your dietitian and diabetes educator is asking you to do. And do everything else that everybody is expecting you to do. Your family, your children, your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriends, anybody that is expecting things from you, correct? So I thought, let's bring back some inspiration. And this goes for me as well, because right now I'm living through a situation that I wasn't expecting, and I had gotten very depressed and I lost my mojo. I lost my excitement for life. I lost my reason to wake up in the morning. I lost it. And I even lost my interest to build my business and to coach more women, because I have been buried in a sea of emotions where I just have not been able to stop crying for about a month. So, needless to say, that's why you haven't seen me much, but I wanted to bring all that motivation and inspiration back to you. And instead of talking about what we cannot eat or what we should eat or how many calories we should have and all of that, I want to start sharing a story of a woman who is the artist of her own life. And while we do that, I'm gonna just share this in my groups and allow you guys to roll on in. And please, as you come in, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. And I want to also know, how your day is going, and if you feel like you've lost your motivation and your dreams. So, in the meantime, I want to tell you, if this is your first time watching me, my name is Mariel Morales, and I am known as the Life Artist. I created the Life Artist Formula, and I founded a beautiful and confident movement for women, where I help you transform, break out of that cocoon, and become visible to the world and to yourself. I teach you how to break these old cycles of trying to be who you're not supposed to be. Trying to be a different woman, and trying to be healthy and feel beautiful and look confident and all of this, when you have so many things coming your way that are not promoting all of that are not nurturing you and giving you that possibility to do it. But I want to tell you that it can happen. So let me see if this phone wants to connect. I guess it's totally dead. But it's okay. Let me see if I can I'm going to tag someone here so she can share. Give me one moment. I didn't know my other tablet was dead. Okay. All right. Brief pause. So as I was saying, I am here to help you regain your mojo, help you regain your desire to create the life of your dreams, despite of any circumstances you may be living through right now. So I already shared a little bit about my story. I have gone through a lot of different things, and I have been surrounded by depression and anxiety for a long time. And a lot of the things happened when my relationships ended. Hey Trees, thanks for showing up. If you can put it on my personal page as well. All my other gadgets are dead and I can share it anywhere. So several of my relationships have ended and have put me kind of a setback. And being able to continue to move forward with my talents and with the things I dream in life have become, kind of in the back. I just been burying them in a box, basically, and not pulling them out, because every time I pull them out, I feel like somebody steals the dream away from me, and I haven't had the courage and the strength to just push through hard enough to become what I wanted to be. But I am so much far ahead from where I had been before. I am in a lot better place than I have been before, but there's still a lot to learn. There's still a lot we can grow and be better at, right? And that is my aim. I cannot be perfect because only God is perfect. But I can continue to be better every time a situation comes across and it hits me hard and it knocks me out and it puts me away from my dreams for a little bit, but then I can always come back and retake them, right? The life artist is a woman that feels beautiful and is confident enough to claim her gifts and her talents to create the life that she dreams about. But while she's doing this process, she also wants to inspire others to do the same. And so that's why I decided that the life artist can be, that the life artist is my brand, is what I represent. Thank you so much, Trees. I appreciate you. So there are 6 steps to becoming the artist of your own life, okay? And they are the acronym of my name. So, Mariel, the M is for you have to be motivated and you have to find a way to be self-motivated. And this one is the hardest one of all for me. Finding motivation to do things every single day is very difficult. And when you're in a state of being bombarded by maybe financial situations, a relationship situation, your kids are having issues, maybe your family's sick, there's just so many things, it's very hard to sometimes find the motivation to keep going, correct? But that is the first step to being the life artist. You have to be motivated. The second one is that you have to accept and love yourself. You have to accept whatever it is that you have. That maybe you have extra pounds. Maybe you're losing your hair. Maybe your hair is gray, like mine is, and I got it all covered with eyeshadows and stuff. Maybe you're single all over again, like I am now. Or maybe you're in a relationship that is very, very difficult, and you just don't like where you're at. Or maybe your financial situation is not where you want it to be at this time in your life. Whatever it is that you feel you don't like, you still have to accept it and love yourself for who you are and where you're at in the moment. And right now I'm loving myself with my extra curves, with my extra grace, and with my broken spirit, okay? And I am accepting that this is where I'm at and that I can move forward. It will take me time, and that's okay. So I'm allowing myself to get to that time, to that point again, regardless of what people tell me. People tell me I should be at this level right now. I should be not crying anymore. I should not be depressed anymore. Listen, you're not living my life, right? I will allow myself to take the time I need to recover from whatever it is I'm going through. And I want you to do the same. The next step is that you have to be resilient. So you're going to get knocked down 100 million times, but you got to bounce back. And each time you bounce back, you got to be stronger and smarter. Does it mean you not make the same mistakes again? Doesn't always mean that. I mean, I have made the same mistake again over and over. But I've noticed that I have learned lessons along the way. And that is part of being resilient. And you find a way to bring yourself back out of that hole and that dark place that you go into when life hits you hard. The next one is the I. You have to inspire others. You can't just do things just for yourself, right? You always want to be an inspiration to someone else. Maybe you have kids and you want to be an inspiration to them. I don't have kids, so sometimes I find it difficult to have motivation to do things because I feel like nobody's expecting me to do anything, you know? I don't have anybody I'm leaving a legacy to. So sometimes it's hard to just want to inspire people I don't even know. But then every time I get good feedback from somebody that watched my videos or that saw a post or that talked to me or that came to one of my coaching programs, they feel inspired and they feel motivated to do something different with their life. So then I do have someone I can inspire, even if it's just one person on earth. The fifth step is that you have to be energized and you got to find a way to find energy. Listen, I have been sleeping a lot lately. I haven't had any energy because I have been very, very depressed. And I'm not ashamed of saying it. It is a process and it's part of the process. And when you get very depressed, sleeping takes away the pain. And the energy levels are just very low. And maybe you're feeling the same way right now because you got diagnosed with diabetes or you got told that you're very close to becoming diabetic. Or that now you have to be on insulin. And you can, it may go into a dark place, or you may embrace it and see it as an opportunity rather than a defeat. Some people like me not always see it as an opportunity and see it as a weakness and a defeat. And then you go into a dark place, but it doesn't matter. You find a way to get the energy to pull back out. And then the last one is you gotta learn new habits. If you stay doing the same thing over and over your whole life, after each mistake you didn't learn a new thing to do or not to do, or you didn't add a new routine to your life to get healthy, to feel more beautiful, to get more confident, then you're wasting your experiences. Pain should be for you to learn lessons, not for you to continue to add more defeats on top of defeat on top of defeat and never come out with anything good from it. There's always a lesson to learn in your pain. So those are the 6 steps. You got to be motivated. You got to accept and love yourself. Got to be resilient. You got to want to inspire others with your process and with your life. And you want to be learning new habits. And so that is what it takes to become the artist of your own life. So I've been looking for a woman that represents this. And I came across this video the other day of the most, the favorite, I think Oprah calls her favorite guest of all times. So you know Oprah has interviewed 30,000 people. And this woman is the most favorite person that she has interviewed. And she's brought her over her show several times. So I came across her video for some reason. And I heard her story. And it moved me and it touched me so much that I purchased her book and just started reading it the last couple of days. So what I'm going to be doing is, besides I'm going to be teaching you things about how to manage your disease, how to feel beautiful, how to be confident, I want to also share the story of somebody that can inspire you. Because obviously I'm not in that place yet to inspire you that much, but this woman can inspire you and will inspire you if you follow her story. So today I'm going to give you just a brief story of what she went through and what she accomplished because she had a dream of getting more education. And then as I keep reading the book, I will be coming live and just sharing what kind of lessons I'm learning from each chapter. So let me show you what the book is. It's called The Awakened Woman. And it says Remembering and Reigniting Our Sacred Dreams by Dr. Tererai Trent. And then it's also foreword by Oprah Winfrey. So I wanted to buy this book because I felt like I had lost my dream. Like I had lost my passion for what I was doing, which was building a business to help women get inspired and become the artists of their own life as they become healthier and more confident. So because I lost that dream, I thought this book might be what I need to awaken these dreams again and come back with more passion. So this is something that she says, and I absolutely love this. It says, "My sisters, we women are a massive, untapped global resource for healing the world, and we are now rising up all over the world. In the streets, at home, in political arenas, formerly run only by men, in academia and corporations, in social media, and in service to the world." So women are rising up, right? But we still have a lot of us that for one reason or another, we set aside our deepest wisdom, our talents, our knowledge, our skills, and we put aside our most valuable and sacred dreams. How many of you feel like you had a dream for a long time, but you have not done anything to accomplish it? And you feel like everything in life has detoured you from becoming that person that you dream to be, or from getting that thing you dream to have. So the events on her early life silenced her. And she knows that many of us have suffered silences too. Like, I felt like I got silenced after I got hit by this last situation that I had to encounter for the last 2 months. And you can and you will awaken those dreams again. I guarantee it. I am awakening them, and I want you to awaken them with me. So remember that women have a unique capacity to inspire, to create, and to transform. So we should not be putting our dreams aside, because we're doing a disservice to the people that follow us, that know us, and the ones that don't even know us. Because if you don't go for your dreams, you are not exposing more people to your talents, to your gifts, to the blessings that you have been given that should be put to the service of others. So let me share with you her story. So she grew up in Zimbabwe, okay, in Africa, where it was a very poor village, and where women there were not allowed to go to school. Hi, Lynn, welcome. So women were not allowed to go to school because they were meant to be wives and moms, right? To stay at home. And because she wasn't allowed to go to school, she had this strong desire to get educated, that she started self-teaching herself, obviously self-teaching herself how to write and read from using the workbooks of her brother. So when he will come from school, she will borrow the books and study and learn on her own. Eventually, she got so good at it that she started doing the homework for him. And then eventually the teachers realized somebody else is doing the homework for him because he was failing at the tests. He was not doing well in class, yet his homework was on point and very well done. So finally they found out that it was Dr. Trent, the one that was doing the homework for her brother. So the teachers begged her dad to let her go to school. But after begging and begging, he let her go maybe a couple of times. And then he sold her for a cow at age 11 to marry this guy in exchange for a cow. So can you imagine being married at 11 years old when you are still watching cartoons, playing with your dolls, and learning how to be a child, trying to fit in school and all of that, and now you're married and you're being asked to be a wife. So she was married to this guy, and once she turned 14, she was pregnant from her first child. So she's a child raising a child, right? And what happened at that time was that there was this war that was going on in Africa, and women were getting raped and enslaved and being utilized for sexual trafficking and things like that. So one way to protect a woman there was to have her get pregnant and have a husband. So that's why she was forced to be pregnant at age 14, so that she could be protected. So by age 18, she's already a mom of 4 kids. Okay? 18 years of age, 4 kids, no education, poor as can be. On top of that, her husband will beat her because she kept saying that she wanted to get education. She kept talking about it, and her husband will beat her up every time she mentioned it. So not only she's a child raising 4 children of her own, she's also been beaten by her husband, who does not let her even dream. So she lived very poorly, lacked education, lived like a servant, and pretty much lost her self-esteem. And she endured a lot of infidelity as well, because that was the norm back there. You know, the men could have, you know, multiple women, and the women needed to endure that because it was just part of the routine. It was what they did. So even though she still lived this life, she hungered for a different life. She had a dream she did not want to give up on, period. So this time, there was one time around that these American women came by her village, and they were asking all of the women in the village what were their dreams and aspirations. And she didn't want to say anything because she'd been told that she can't dream. And she gets beat every time she says what her dreams are. But the woman insisted that she said something, so everybody shared their dreams, and she was the only one that had not said anything. Finally, she said that her dream was to get an education. And the woman said to her, everything is possible if you believe and you have a strong dream in your heart. So she went home running to her mom to tell her what happened. This woman, the American woman, told me that anything can happen if I dream about it and I go for it. So her mom immediately told her that she needed to write her dreams, list them up, all of them, every single one of them in detail, and then she needed to bury them in the ground, and then she needed to pray so that they will grow. So just like a plant that you plant the seed and you pray it will grow. Well, you bury your dreams in the earth and you pray that they will grow. It was something they did back in their village in Zimbabwe. So sure enough, she started getting some jobs later on, and every little money that she made, which was very little, she used it to pay to get her GED, so to get her high school diploma. But do you know how long it took her to get her diploma? Does anybody know how long, or can you guess how long it took her to get her diploma? Well, you know, in the States, it takes us maybe 3 to 4 years to get your diploma if you go to school. And if you're getting your GED, you might study for a few months or something and get it. But this woman had to wait 8 years to get her high school diploma, or her GED in that case, because she had to do it by correspondence to another country. So she will have to save up, purchase the classes, then the course will be mailed to her, which took months to get to her. Because, you know, this is way back, where things were not online, okay? She had not access to no computer, so she could read things. Not like us, that now we can get online degrees in a heartbeat. She had to do it by correspondence. So every 6 months, she will go through, she will go through a class and fail, and go through a class and fail. And then she will have to save money and wait again to be able to purchase a class, wait for the mail to come, wait for the mail to arrive so that she could apply all over again. I mean, it took her 8 years of this process. And here we complain when we have a job and we have kids and we have an online course that we're taking. She didn't give up. She wanted her GED so badly because her dream was to go to the United States and study abroad. So finally she got her GED after 8 years, and then she finally gets accepted in 1988 into Oklahoma State University. So she moves there with now 5 kids and her husband, who was an abusive husband, and starts studying. Well, her 4 dreams were to study abroad, especially in the United States, to get a master's degree, and to get a PhD. And she got all of that. Can you believe such thing? Now, once she came to the United States, it wasn't easy peasy, okay? She had very little money to begin with to come here. And then she had a husband that didn't really want to help out. That didn't want to do any work at home or help with the children because that's not what men in their culture do. And it will beat her up every time she asked for help. So she started working several jobs, go to school, and then come back to be a mom of 5 children and take care of a very mean husband. And even though she had no sleep and they hardly ate, they lived in a trailer where they didn't have heaters, so they were very cold and they were very hungry. There was very, very little food available for them. To the point that she started having to eat out of trash cans. Now, one person that she knew from Walmart offered her, she asked if she could get the fruit and vegetables that were going to be thrown out. But he told her that he couldn't do that because if anything happened to their kids or her, they got sick from that she will sue them. And she said, I don't even have any money to sue anybody, but I understand. So he said, well, what I can do is I can leave him outside by the dumpster, but you have to pick it up by 4:30 because if you're not there on time, I'm going to throw it in the trash. And think about it. She was going to school. She had kids. She had several jobs. She couldn't barely make it on time there. So every time she arrived, the fruit and the vegetable were all already, besides being expired, inside the dumpster. She will dig it out and feed her kids and her husband with that in herself. So any woman in her case would have given up, right? Would have been like, this is way too hard. Why am I even going to school? Why am I even trying so hard? I can't feed my children. I'm feeding them things from the trash. I'm exhausted. I don't sleep because I work several jobs and I have to go to school. And yet she had very good grades and finally accomplished, after 3 years in the US, she finally finished her bachelor's degree in agricultural education. Eventually, a couple of years later, she finished her master's and recently she got her PhD. So she accomplished every single dream she had. And she also was able to give back to her community because what she wanted was not to stay in the States and live her dream. She wanted to bring what she learned back to her community and provide the opportunity for education for other girls in her community back in Zimbabwe. And now she's one of the most internationally recognized voices for quality education and women empowerment. She's a scholar, a humanitarian, a motivational speaker, educator, author of several books, and also still the favorite guest in the Oprah show. And she also founded the Tererai Trent International, which is an entity that has the mission to provide quality access to children and empower rural communities. So it did not matter how much she suffered. She never, ever stopped dreaming, and she never gave up on her dream. So I want you to think about her story. Every time you think you cannot deal with your diabetes, every time you think you can't lose weight because it's too hard to follow a diet, every time you think you can't earn a degree because you're working, or every time you think you can't build a business because you have kids and you have to work and all of that. Think about how much this woman worked to accomplish her dreams and how, because of her not giving up, other women in the world are benefiting from her knowledge, her experience, her inspirational story, and everything else that she has to offer. So, what do you think about the story? I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did. And I wrote all kinds of notes because every time I feel like giving up, I will go back and read how she did it. And hopefully I will not be feeling defeated like I have been over and over small or big things. Because it doesn't matter how big your circumstance and your problem is. If your dream is bigger, you will push through and get it. And that's who I want to be, and that's who I want you to be. So Thanks so much for watching. If you're writing comments, I did not see them come through, so hopefully when I get off I can see them. And if you watch on replay, let me know what you think of the story, and let me know if it is inspiring you to do something and what that something is. I would like to hold you accountable for what your dream is and what you want to do. Maybe it is just to get your sugars under control. Maybe it is to lose some weight. Maybe it is to get your blood pressure under control. Maybe it is to go to school again. Maybe it is to build a business. I don't know what it is, but whatever your dream is, I want you to share it in here, speak it out loud, and tell me how this woman inspired you to go forward and not give up no matter what's happening in your life. So thank you so much for watching. I am Mariel Morales, the life artist and the founder of the Beautiful and Confident Movement for Women, and I am your diabetes and health and image advisor, and I'm here to guide you through this journey of feeling beautiful, restoring health, and becoming confident so that you can create the life that you dream of. I will talk to you soon. Bye.